good. Everybody's good. Noah's good, working hard. He was on call this weekend. Long call, like 48-hour call straight. And other than that, it's all good.
I'm going to wave my wand and see if maybe we come on air. So Giovanni
Gio.
Santori, our executive producer, I'm loving the rainbows. It is really matching my dress quite lovely and my wand. No one can see us.
Gio, this is not good, honey.
We'll get you there.
Not
You
good.
can listen to us, on the radio, on your iHeartRadio app on 1470 AM and 95.3 FM. Give us a call at 888-565-1470.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of texts, Gio. We're the color of the rainbow.
But we look good.
Yeah,
At least
do.
we didn't have to do our hair for this one.
No, I know. Thank God. Well, then now I'll put it up.
Come in our pajamas next time. I took today off.
Did you really? You ran a tape.
We ran a tape today because
Rock on, sister girl.
My co-host, I wanted him to have another day on the mend. And I thought, you know what? After the week we had last week and the week before, we could all use a day off.
He had the Michael Jackson sleep today. He's good.
Who knew I'd be sitting here for 4 hours?
Yeah.
Gio says he's working. It's working now. All right. So
Well, thanks, Gio. Just missed the whole damn introduction, but that's okay.
perfect timing for our guests, though.
There
We don't
you
really
go.
count.
No.
It's never about us. It's always about our guests and spreading our
Exactly.
message.
Oh, that's a lot.
So if we continue our message of spreading love and hope, one person at a time, and you know what? As cliche as it sounds, it really makes a difference. One person turns into another. My grandfather used to say, you talk to one, you talk to 11, and it just grows.
That's what my mother used to say. You teach a person how to cook, they can cook for everybody. You know? So that's the same kind of concept. They were just
You know
Italian.
what? I should have taken a picture of my refrigerator because
wrong?
I don't cook. So all the takeout bins, all the food from Saturday night is now lying. It's worse than normally, Mrs. Flax. We have a studio audience
is
here today.
so
My mom
funny.
is here, who has taught me the best in takeout.
Rock
It
on, honey.
even beats
Fist bump. There
our
you go.
usual takeout.
You got to come teach me.
I now have two
I'm like an idiot
refrigerators.
there, just cooking all day long.
I have two refrigerators now full of metal tins and boxes.
Come over. The mother is a nurse, by the way, just saying. We got along. But anyway, I'd like to introduce to you our very, very special guest, Elise Montgomery. She and I go back a long way. We don't see each other at all, but thank God for Facebook. But Elise and I met when our children were at school together and then just went on different paths, but kind of always kept in touch. And I haven't seen you in, 17 years, 16
Really?
years, 15 years? We haven't seen each other in a long time. I've changed quite a bit since she saw me. We're not going to say what I said.
Better. We just need to get Elise close to the mic.
Yes, I'm
Please.
sorry. So, Elise is here, and she's actually a certified life coach. However, her special area is family relationships and parenting. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got started in this little journey here?
So, my son was diagnosed with autism when he was 2 years old.
Right.
And I would say within a week, I had therapists, a team of therapists in my house treating, quote unquote, the autism and working on OT, speech, all that kind of stuff, ABA, and teaching Spencer how to generalize information, and everybody was doing that. But the one thing that nobody really worked on was Spencer's behaviors. And even as a baby, he would always just scream and cry, and it drains you as a mother. It's particularly a first-time mother. You have this idea of what life is going to be like with your babies, and how perfect
God
they're
laughs
good,
at you.
how perfect they're going to be, and so nobody ever really dealt with the behaviors, and I always kept a journal on Spencer. And at his worst time, he was 4 years old, and he was having 7 tantrums a day that would last an hour and a half, which really just your whole life ends up being sort of going in and out.
And redirecting everything.
Navigating through those tantrums, and it's exhausting. And being yelled at like that all the time is so, so draining. And I took him to every possible specialist. And like I said, I had a whole team of people.
And I think I want to stress for you, it had to be hard because you must have felt alone.
I
at
did.
that time.
I did.
And not in the norm of everybody else.
Right, because he's 17, and back then I didn't know anybody that was diagnosed with autism. And
Well, what led you to even look for a diagnosis? Was it because it was so young to even label of any
Right.
type of label.
So I noticed that something was off when Spencer was 3 months old. The kids are in their bounce. I did all the different mommy and me's, and the kids in the bouncy seats, and they're batting at the toys, or they're tracking with their eyes. The parents. I didn't get any of that with Spencer, and I just thought it was odd that he seemed disinterested in toys, and he was very interested in inappropriate things like fans and vents, and he would just stare for hours. And then we even thought that something was wrong with his hearing, because we would walk into a room and he wouldn't turn. These are typical things that children do. So I just thought it odd, and I even asked the pediatrician several different times during, when they're babies, they have well visits, all the time. So, no, stop comparing them. Everybody develops differently.
I love that line.
And they do.
But
And
at 3 months, it's young, because
It's
it
young.
is true.
so I just sort of kept going, and at 18 months was when I finally got in touch with the state, and I got an appointment for him. It was there was a wait for the appointment, and again, the pediatrician said nothing's wrong. At this point, Spencer had language, lost it. I remember reading in the What to Expect, those books.
Yeah, I hate that book.
The Bible.
They should burn the office and the books.
Right, the Bible. And I'm looking. I fell on autism, and I think were 14 symptoms, and if you answered yes to 9 of them, then quote unquote your child would fall into that diagnosis. And Spencer, I answered yes to every single one of them. So.
That was the precursor to the internet. When you have something,
Yeah, I
you look
know.
on
Yeah,
the
you
internet,
look-
and it's everything you go, I shouldn't be looking up.
Yeah.
That's what it was before the internet. We did it with books.
Cancer, I'm dying.
Well, that's it,
So,
exactly.
yes. So I thought, oh my gosh, so Spencer's autistic, and so I had him tested, and
But what did you feel when you went through this? What was your feeling? Was it affirmation and relief, or was it panic?
So I said, what I say is that the good news is he was diagnosed with autism. The bad news is he was diagnosed with autism.
Right.
So the good news is
You had a label.
I had a label. I had a direction. The bad news is I had a
Had a label
label
and I had a
a direction. So I didn't really need validation per se, but I just knew something was wrong. The way he screamed, it was so painful that it just couldn't have been normal, quote unquote. So,
Let's say typical, because I
typical.
hate the normal word.
So, and that's what they say in the autism word. They say typical, neurotypical. So, all of those behaviors were still taking place, and was diagnosed with OCD, anxiety, all that stuff at a very, very young age. Went to go see the neurologist. You do the checklist of things that you have
go
to do.
through everything I had to do.
And so at his worst, like I said, it was 7 tantrums a day lasting an hour to an hour and a half. And I got into, my mom had gotten me an appointment at Kennedy Krieger, which is the pediatric arm of Johns Hopkins, which is a very famous hospital. And I sat in this woman's office, the director of psychiatry, and I said to her, I can't do this. I can't be his mother anymore. It's too difficult. I don't know how to do this. You have to help me. And I really thought that I had hit rock bottom at that point. And Spencer was on medication. And then, as I thought, I couldn't get any lower in my life by telling a perfect stranger that I couldn't
You're
do
done.
this. She said to me, if your son knew what it meant to throw himself in front of a car, he would. He's suicidal.
All right. On that note, I want you to hold that. I want everyone to pay attention and come back on that note. Give us a call, 888-565-1470. We will be right back and see how she took that message and she turned it into a positive end result. We'll be right back. Know your body, gain control of your health, transform your life. If your body could talk, what would it tell you? At DexaFit, we show you how to take control of your health and fitness to live a happier, more fulfilling life. Hormones, metabolic health, and cardio fitness all play a significant role in your energy levels, sleep quality, and overall well-being. With our proven methods of measure, track, and discover, we show you how your body composition, cardio fitness, and metabolic health compare to your optimal level. At DexaFit, our goal is to help you identify and understand the health and fitness of how to transform your body to meet your individual goals, break through your plateaus, and take the guesswork out. Improve your energy levels, sleep, and weight. Give us a call at 561-923-8833. We are conveniently located at 2499 Glades Road in Boca Raton. Schedule an appointment online at dexafit.com. Give us a call, 561-923-8833, and mention this ad for special pricing.
This portion of our show has been sponsored by Edelman, Barron, and Schreibman, MDPA, board-certified physicians in pulmonary, critical care, and sleep medicine. Offices are conveniently located in Boca Raton and Delray Beach, Florida. 561-488-2988.
Hey, grab your glass of Merlot.
Or your cup of coffee. And if you want to join in on the fun, give us a call at 888-565-1470.
Let's rejoin the two broads from Boca.
All right, there you go.
And we're back. We're discussing the subtleties of me, none. Give us a call, 888-565-1470. Welcome back to the Two Broads from Boca. We are live streaming on Facebook at Two Broads from Boca. We are probably also live streaming on AMP2 TV Productions on Facebook and on Periscope at AMP2 TV. But we have graduated from the rainbow to you can see us. But I want to get back into this incredible story. We left you hanging. We have Elise Montgomery, parenting and life coach, who's sharing her story of her son. And the cliffhanger was...
So they told me that if Spencer was old enough to understand what it meant to throw himself in front of a car, he would have.
And he was 4 years old.
He was
at this
4
time.
years old. How do you even determine that? I mean, I didn't even bother with how
process,
or why.
right.
It was just, okay, here's where we are. And like I said, I didn't think I could get any lower, but then
There you
she
go.
hit me with that. And it was really in that moment that I decided I have got to take control of my life. This can't be. I just admitted to this woman who is one of the most prestigious doctors in the country that I couldn't parent my child, and that if I had my druthers, I would sort of leave him here and you guys fix him and bring him back to me. But that wasn't working. So I knew that it had to come from myself. So I sort of armored up with a steel set of clothing and said, you know, something's got to give. I got to change the way I'm doing things because what I'm doing isn't working. So what I had done in the past was sort of hand Spencer over and say, fix him. But they couldn't fix him. So I thought, okay, it may just need to come from me. So I changed the way I parented him. It didn't come natural to me.
So how were you parenting before?
So I sort of just did anything that Spencer wanted because the screams were so loud and so big and so penetrating.
But think about how we all do that. I mean, we talked before, special needs. It's such a label. Every child has special needs.
Right.
Every child's an ass.
Every child
Let's
has
just
their
call it
own
what it
needs,
is.
and now you have a label of autism. So
Right.
now they're considered special needs. But you've got a child that's bullied, or you have a child
It's true.
that
Is
maybe
quiet.
is quiet or shy
Or boisterous.
right. Or my son used to throw Legos across the room. You know what? He had special needs too, and I was ready to. I did. I
needed
handed
to
him
get a
over to
big
the
beat.
karate instructor, and
exactly.
I went, "I'm done.
Done.
So it's all the same thing.
So and that's why
It's all the same.
That is why what I did with Spencer is universal.
So
That
tell
is
us what you
why
did.
I'm able to help other people. So I decided, okay, this is a child that screamed if I put the plate down in the wrong spot or used the wrong fork, and I decided instead of giving into it, it sounds so
Easy.
elementary now.
But it's not.
But it's not when they're your child yelling. So I decided I'm just going to put the plate down. And if he screams, he screams. And I did. And he screamed. And rather than get upset or frustrated or yell or scream or do any number of things that we do as parents, I just walked away. I didn't react. And this is so novel. And what I realized was because I kept a journal on him, oh my gosh, it's not 7 tantrums a day. It's now 6. It's not an hour and a half. It's an hour. It's 5 tantrums a day. And they're 30 minutes. And all of a sudden, I realized, oh my God, I just got control of my life back. I am now in the driver's seat.
But
He
think
is
about
not.
how novel that is just to our generation of parenting. Because our parents,
True.
I know you would make one dinner for us, and we run around and make millions of dinners.
I used to get the better luck next meal
Yeah.
line, you
right?
know?
It
so
is.
what you
It's
did
so basic.
is just parenting,
Parenting.
at a
That's
basic
exactly
level.
what
At a
it is.
basic
And you
level.
make an excellent point because all it is that you took the control as an adult.
That's right. And it's,
hard to do sometimes.
Parents are busy. We have dual income families, and there's guilt, and I can't say no, and what's on the other side of no? There's screaming, there's huffing, there's puffing, and my child can't be uncomfortable, not for 1 minute. And you know, it's a different world now.
It's just
and
parenting.
It's just parenting, and that's why what I did, it was a lot harder with Spencer. It took a lot longer to change
because
those
he
behaviors.
was not typical.
And that's where that comes in, is that it just takes longer.
Overall, for an average situation, how long does it take, in your opinion, to change a behavior?
Oh my God, days. Days.
That's it.
That's it, days.
Like potty training, right?
It's like potty training. It takes days.
And that's without weaponry.
And that's without weaponry. That is without weaponry. And so, and that's what I tell, people will call me all the time. How do I? And I'll tell them.
Well, fast forward to why people are calling you, because unfortunately we only have
about 5 minutes.
We're so short on time, and everyone wants to know. So fast forward
you have to
another
come back.
14 years
So
to where you are now.
So Spencer turned out to be this amazing child, straight A student, plays in 2 bands, plays the cello.
But he always was
Has
an
a
amazing
job.
child.
Has a job, always was an amazing child. The behaviors that
just
he
developed.
displayed were difficult, and they were not serving him. So when we eliminated those, Spencer was able to flourish completely. And what ended up happening was people would always ask my advice because Spencer was always so great, and they saw that I disciplined him and that I took action in front of people. I wasn't scared to get up and walk out of a restaurant if Spencer was misbehaving. I'll throw a 20 down on the table and get up and leave. Goodbye. It can't be more important to, I tell people that all the time, cannot be more important to the parent than the child. Anything.
It can't
being
be about
at dinner,
you.
being the grades, playing football, they have to want it. So, why do people call me? It was a very organic thing because all my friends did. And then they said, people need to have access to you to be able to learn to parent their children, because it takes someone.
You need to be a
by the
parent, not a
arm.
friend.
And sometimes it just takes, I provide what I wish somebody would have provided
She's shaking
for
her
me.
head over there. Uh-huh.
Tell us how people can get in touch with you.
Okay, so my number's 561-289-2480. My email is info@elisemontgomery.com.
I'm telling you, the comments and the hearts flying across here. You're so brave. Good job on the change for your child. Way to go.
You.
Oh my gosh, you're so inspirational.
Thank
so tell
you.
everyone where Spencer is now.
So Spencer is mainstreamed. He was in a special school for many years, and he is mainstreamed. And as I
means
said,
regular school.
and very few accommodations. Not even what they call an IEP, which is an individualized.
He has no IEP
He has
anymore
no
either.
IEP. So he has like 2 things on his 504 plan. So, and 504 they take with them to college. It's no big deal. It's nothing. And not only is my message about that, but also my message is about early intervention,
Yes.
because Spencer is the poster child for that. And not just early intervention, but it is about bringing families back together again. There was a time that all I wanted to do was run the other direction. And I think a lot of parents feel that way because they're exhausted and they
Frustrated.
they're like, my child just won't listen. They just won't listen. And it's just,
She must have a little hidden mic and camera in my house.
and I know that. And you just want to run away when you have your free time. But it's my goal to bring that peace back into people's households so that they can be a family unit again.
Do you work with individual families and children?
How do
you work?
So I work with the families, but what's different that I do is that I work mostly with the parents. So people will be like, well, Johnny's acting this way and he's doing this and he's not okay,
why is
let me
Johnny
tell you
what you
how to handle it. Not what Johnny can do differently. Johnny will do it different when you act differently.
Like a husband.
when you parent differently, and that's tough. A lot of people don't want to put in that kind of work. It's not easy. It's hard. But if you put it on in the front end, you will reap the rewards on the back end. I mean, Spencer is an amazing
He really
child, and if you feel like something's wrong, that means it's time to deal with it. That should be the light bulb in your head. Okay, let me nip this. The longer I wait, the worse the problem gets. So if
And the
they're
take-home message is, and we talked about before, being your child's advocate. no matter where you are. Imagine if you hadn't labeled him at 2.
There's no
And all
shame.
you saw were behaviors. And at 4, you stepped in without the medication, said, you know what, this is what I'm going to do. There would have never been that label of autism, and his outcome would have been the same because of you,
Right.
because of what you did as a parent. So
Right.
what you offer is so unbelievable for families and parents
Thank
to
you.
come back together. Can you give out your number again?
561-289-2480. And my name, the email's info@elisemontgomery.com, ELISEMONTGOMERIE.
Thank
It's a funny
you, because
name.
people are asking how to spell it, and they're spelling Montgomery on here. Elise, you are incredible, so brave.
Oh,
Thank you for joining us. We definitely-
It's so fun. Thank you for
You
having
gotta
such
come
a
back.
story.
You definitely have to come
Definitely have to come back. Wow, this one went fast.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us. Have a wonderful, magical Monday. We'll see you next week, same time, same place. Be kind to one another.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Just remember that it's a grand illusion. 'Cause deep inside we're